But we used to go to a place called the Shaft. We used to go to the Tunnel. HEVELOW.
The HEVELOW. Right, the HEVELOW.
The HEVELOW.
With T Connection.
I'm saying a lot of people don't know about the HEVELOW.
They said Kool Herc was rocking the HEVELOW. I guess maybe later on.
Yeah, later on. He must have.
Whoa, 371.
Alright, so Coca Rock, where we at?
We at the famous HEVELOW disco back in the day. This is when I became Coca Rock. I was in Coca Rock at the first couple of spots we was at. But once it got here, I felt that thing as what they call hip hop now.
Okay.
And once we got here, I became Coca Rock, and then I really started talking and, you know, understanding what the party was really about.
Now, did it look like this? We had, where we at?
Jerome Avenue. Burnside and Jerome.
Burnside and Jerome. Did it look like this on the outside, or?
No, it looked like this. It was just a club with a door open. You know?
It was high like this, like what, 3 floors?
No, it only was 1 floor.
1 floor.
1 floor. It just went straight from the front to the back. The HEVELOW was like a matchbox. It wasn't as big. The Exec was bigger than that. The Twilight Zone was even bigger than that. The HEVELOW was a small little spot. I mean, to me, it was like 50 feet from the front to the back. And they had a bar, and they had a, you know, and that was mostly it. They had the DJ booth that they worked out of, but we never used anybody's, you know, equipment because we had the Herculoids.
Right, so the Herculoids, is this when he got the Herculoid system? Before you said he had a PA system.
Because we didn't even have a queuing.
That was, right, that was his first system, right?
That was his
with
first
the
system,
columns?
yes.
Right,
just
okay.
a PA system, really, that I
A
found
PA
out now.
system. Before you said he had a PA system.
Yeah, that was the first party. That was the very first party. He had the PA system.
When you say PA system,
I mean
what
the
do you
columns.
mean?
He had
Right,
the columns.
The columns. But,
yeah.
because see, when I think of PA system, I think like, I remember in school, like, over the PA system, they would give announcements.
Yeah, they would give announcements. But I took that in so many ways, too, because Herc didn't have a mixer.
Okay.
At the very beginning. Herc didn't have a mixer. Herc was doing it by eye. We didn't even, that's when we had a queue in, but we had the phone. Herc tied the phone. We didn't even have headphones.
So a PA system, what else can you say about that? I don't know what a PA system is.
To me, it was like where you got the board that hooks up, and you had a reverb, and it had like equalizer and stuff all in the one box. That's how I took that.
This PA system, was it loud like the Herculoid?
No, when we got here, we was with the Herculoid.
Okay.
Like I said, the PA system was only when we was at the rec room.
When he first started.
Yeah, right after that, you know, we was doing things. We was mobile. We even was mobile DJ for
He
people.
started building a Herculoid system.
Yes, he started building that.
So he bought that by himself?
Yeah, he bought that by himself. Nobody had nothing to do. I didn't take a paycheck for her for a whole year. Because I said, what you trying to do?
To free up money?
Yeah, he said, I didn't know what he was trying to do. I didn't, this music thing wasn't popular, especially against young guys. Okay. And then, like I said again, most cats played music out of their house, their apartment, the one turntable, their mother.
Okay.
There wasn't DJs running around here playing music. I went to a bunch of clubs. People really forget I was born in the Bronx. I'm not Herc. Herc came here, I think, in '67.
Yeah.
I was born in the Bronx. I went to clubs ever since I was in public school. You know, I went to clubs. You had the Puzzle, the Tunnel, the Loveland, the Devil's Inn. You had spots, I'm saying, and I went.
You used to go to those spots?
Yes, I went. Yeah, I had to wear my brother's shoes. I didn't have, you know, real shoes like shoes. You had to wear shoes at most of these clubs.
Do you remember the Puzzle?
I remember the Puzzle.
You had shoes in there?
You had to wear shoes to the Puzzle.
Because the stage was saying they was in there.
When the Puzzle this was in like the 60s.
The Puzzle.
Yeah.
That's it. Once again, you had cats running in, and they came how they came. Because the gangs was in there.
The gangs was in there.
Yeah. So, like you said, they didn't have to. But as a regular cat, I guess, I had to put shoes on because I'm 15. Right. I was 15 getting in grown men spots, so I couldn't come.
But the space was your age. Let me ask you, so do you, those early clubs, so you remember gangs coming in there?
Yes, the Puzzle.
The Puzzle.
Definitely the Puzzle. I mean, they
Was
was
you
at
alone?
different-
Or you was with
No,
your
I
crew?
came with the block team, but
Block
I
team.
lived right on the West Bronx. And then I came to dance and all that. The gang thing was good. I knew a lot of people. But that was the beginning too. But again, things happen, you know. Things happen in there. Yeah.
So was Herc in the puzzle and places
No,
like that? With
I
you?
didn't know Herc then.
You didn't know Herc? Oh, this is before Herc.
Before Herc. This is what I'm trying to tell people. Before Herc. This is why I can understand when people say, well, Herc wasn't the first. Not the first in playing music as a young guy.
Okay.
But to me, first with creating these beats.
Okay.
And me
Right.
getting on the mic. That was first. Come on.
Okay.
I've been to these guys' parties.
I give it
They
to
wasn't
y'all,
doing
right?
that. Everybody did play a role. I'm not gonna play that stingy thing.
Right.
But they wasn't playing the same music till you came to a Kool Herc party.
Because Herc was the Mecca.
He was the Mecca.
of the breakdance. Herc was the Mecca.
He was the Mecca.
of the breakdance.
Like, you know, P.J. Jones, the
Right.
Grandmaster Flowers, Maboya,
Right.
who's in Brooklyn, and they weren't playing that kind of music. They
Right.
were playing what was basic disco type music.
Right.
And they were playing the colors, Barney Ghouls, and all these different kind of plays that we couldn't get into.
Right.
Everybody did play a role. I'm not gonna play that stingy thing.
Right.
But they wasn't playing the same music till you came to a Kool Herc party.
So you would say it was young teenagers playing music before her?
Yeah, there was guys playing music, but not.
I'm talking about young teenagers like Mario.
I didn't. I'm saying I only can speak for the West
Only
Side.
West Side, okay.
In the West Side, they had house parties.
Right, okay.
So really, to me, they had house parties and you had talent shows.
Right.
It wasn't like how we say now, I was a DJ, I'm an MC. Plus, you wasn't popular. That wasn't a popular thing for cats moving. You know, you played music. I mean, most of the guys robbed your party.
Okay, so you was in these spots before you met her.
Yeah, way before
So
I met her.
was you bringing her, and once you met him, was you bringing him to these spots? Was it
took
you
him-
that introduced, because you said you introduced him to the
I
streets.
introduced him to some parties on the West Side.
Right, that's what I
But
mean.
his music or wherever that came from came within him. I
All right,
never
no.
did that. Right.
I'm not talking about the music.
Yeah.
I'm saying because there's interviews. There's interviews of her in a book, matter of fact, Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Herc was going to the tunnel, the Plaza Tunnel.
You had clubs that were in existence. I was too young to go to those clubs. The Tunnel and the Pulse. The Tunnel and the Pulse. And some of those, that's where the gangs hung out. And some of that music incorporated itself into hip-hop. Some of that music incorporated itself into hip-hop.
Plaza Tunnel. Do you remember that at the first?
Yeah, the tunnel was on the concourse, 161st.
And the understanding I got is that he was doing that before he became a DJ. He was hanging out, going to various spots.
Yeah, I can believe. But
Before
see,
he became a DJ.
I can-
Was you bringing him to those spots?
No,
or-
no, I didn't bring him to the spots that I could say at that time. Nah, but he came to the parties that I was going to on the West Side. Even with dancing, like I said, I had danced. And so Herc used to come, like I said, as us meeting. He knew my team ran the block.
Okay.
My team was the team. That's why I said all these guys say, like everybody neighborhood. I can't say I went to Bronx River and I became that cat.
Okay.
Because everybody knew they area.
Okay.
Everybody knew that. You knew who was the baddest on the
So
block.
when you say you introduce him to the streets, you don't mean the
I
clubs.
mean the hustlers.
The hustlers.
Right, the hustlers.
Okay.
The different type of people getting money in New York. So I introduced him to the street. Right?
Okay, so when you was going to these clubs before you met Herc, right?
Yeah.
Was you saying rhymes?
Nothing. I wasn't no
doing
rap,
nothing?
wasn't none of that.
nothing.
I'm coming there, I'm dancing, I got money, I'm doing what I do.
Right. So what made you first want to rhyme? What made you first want to rap or talk?
I was in a room and I just start, like I said again, I start souping my friends up. My little team, it's about 7 of us, we all had AKAs. Pretty Tony, Rah, Skip from the Joint, Norm Rockwell, you know, and I would call your name out and say you got money, like I would call you a G-Money man, as I call myself, a G-Money man,
Right.
and the girls be like, oh wow, them guys got money. We ain't had no money.
Right.
I'll tell you, go move your car because you blocked my car.
Right.
And you go out and I go out and we come back in And they'd be like, wow. So I started talking. They didn't even know I was talking.
It wasn't rhymes at that time?
None of that. None of
No
that.
rhymes.
No rhymes at all.
was just
Just
talking.
calling out names of
So
people.
what made you want to do that? Just to do it? I mean,
No,
what?
like I said, after a minute, like as each party grew, it made my mouth grow.
Okay.
But then when I truly felt it, when Herc battled Pete DJ Jones, I took a different look at this here.
Okay.
Because when he battled Pete, he put on a Parliament mask that Parliament had.
Right.
And he brought out every bit of equipment he had. And I never seen him do that before. He brought out every bit of whatever he had. So he had so much equipment. Then, like I said, he put the mask on and he was like, Coach, you with me, right? And I was like, with you? I said, what you mean? He was like, if I need you, you gonna come help me? I was like, you don't need no help, my brother. You already got this. Because I never seen him. He transformed into another cat. And to me, after that, I was like, all right, I got to get me a name a little better than the name I had.
Okay. So now you're saying this was the old HEVELOW.
Yes.
So now,
Now it's a
Montefiore.
now it's like a welfare center.
Yeah.
But the door was the same. You only had one door.
Okay. Various ethnicities over here, mostly Latino.
Yeah.
Probably
But
control over here or run over here, but
it
was
wasn't
it like
that way at the beginning to a degree. You know, everybody was on different side blocks. Jerome Avenue was Jerome Avenue. Everything up and down here was mostly car dealerships.
right?
Car dealerships, and as you see to a degree, you had shops, auto shops. That Spanish people.
What was the ethnicity? What was the dominant ethnicity over here?
Here, on this side, it was blacks. Yeah, blacks ran down here. And then 5% stayed more on this side over here.
Wow.
You had 5%. They used to go to a club called the Three Roses on the next block, 176. My man Qasim, Mathematics, Brasheen, them type of brothers that was righteous. Was down the block.
So you saying us African Americans dominated?
Yes.
African
like
Americans
I said,
dominate
nothing
wild.
personal.
Right.
When I went to junior high school, I only had maybe 3 Spanish people in my class. 1 Jamaican, maybe 1 other nationality. And like I said again, cats couldn't tell their nationality when they was here. Because, you know, I guess they was outnumbered, so you didn't let nobody really know who you was.
You ever heard of Sugar and Spice?
We used to go to places right there on Burnside, Sugar and Spice, all these places.
You ever heard of Sugar and Spice Club over here?
Yeah, I think Sugar and Spice was on 167th.
Okay.
Was that a bar?
I heard it was on Burnside, but
on Burnside?
I don't know.
I mean, like I said, they had a lot of little clubs. They had a lot of little after-hour spots. That's another thing, you know. Like I said again, at that time they had after-hour spots.
Okay. So, and you said right down the block is what club that was down the block?
That was the Twilight Zone, the first club we ever went into.
That was the first club.
The first club.
And the HEVELOW was up and running when that
was running. You had a guy that over here, I mean, the HEVELOW was the HEVELOW. A cat called Ronnie D was playing at the HEVELOW, but never knew he was playing there till he called me out.
Okay. So y'all started at 5020 Cedar, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, y'all did the little park out there, right?
Yeah, right there. And then after that, we went right to Cedar Park.
Cedar, okay.
Yeah, because we did a couple where right there in between. Because what happened was when we did the little block, the little party in between Herc building and the next building, the first week we had like maybe 50 people. The next week we had 100. The next week it was 300. The police came and told Herc, if he don't shut it down, they're gonna take his equipment.
And that's where?
Huh?
Where they said that at?
That right on the outside, right next to Herc building, 1520, in the little, it's a little one rim basket right there.
So then y'all went to the Cedar Park.
Then we went to Cedar Park.
Now, in the other interview, you said y'all left that kind of quick.
Because to me, Cedar Park was dark. I played there once. I didn't like Cedar Park because it was too dark. And I knew the stick-up kids would tear you up.
Oh, yeah?
So when we got down to Cedar Park, like I said, I played once the first night. Herc played there maybe 3 more times, and the second 2 times I heard, you know, cats got robbed. They trampled and knocked the fence down.
Wow.
That's why they left Cedar Park.
Was that the same year or maybe the next year, 74?
It was
the
about
summer?
the end of the year, you know.
In the winter? It couldn't have been.
No, it was summer.
Summer.
Definitely.
So that probably was
summer.
74.
Yeah, everything was summer.
So by 74, y'all was in Cedar Park, but y'all ditched it because...
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it wasn't comfortable in there, man. To me, it was like, you couldn't take them where cats just was too easy to rob. You know, and especially nobody was down at that time. Down there, Cedar Park was like a ghost land. Wasn't people around,
right.
You know. You had maybe 3 buildings down there.
So after Cedar Park, 74-ish or whatever, summer, where did you said the Twilight Zone?
Right, Twilight Zone was the first spot. Well, from there, like I said, we jumped in the Twilight Zone right after that.
Okay.
Then, from the Twilight Zone, we even did a block party in Taft Schoolyard.
Okay.
And that's when we seen that we had the Bronx, man, because it was over 300-400 people.
And that was before the HEVELOW?
Yeah.
He had his equipment, the Herculoids by that time.
He was building it, like I said. He had 4 speakers, then he went to 8 boards, everything.
Let me ask you, when y'all was doing Cedar Park, did y'all know Mario at that time? When did you meet Mario?
I met Mario, I guess, in between the Twilight Zone and the Executive Playhouse through Herc. You know, playing over there, played in that school. I don't know the number of the school. And then again, like how we met them too in a certain way. Herc's sister went to Dodge High School. We played at Dodge. We was the one who started playing at high schools again and broke that record for that. We played at Dodge High School. Then from Dodge, we went to Roosevelt. Then from Roosevelt, we went to James Monroe. That's how I met Mario and a lot of them over there. Then from there, we started doing recreation rooms.
From Dodge, y'all started doing recreation?
Yeah, we did. We started doing recreation, like on the 9 different spots.
And I'm curious about that, the 9.
Yeah.
That's Webster. What you say, 169 in Webster?
169 Street Webster. They boxing profusely.
And what, they was protecting her?
Yeah, they was protecting her.
Wasn't it Spades on Webster?
Yeah.
That was Spades, right?
We have to talk about that.
Okay.
The niggas from there.
Yeah.
That's Webster. That was Black Spades.
3rd Avenue. Yeah, but 3rd
That
Avenue.
was heavy Black Spades. Right?
Yeah? Wow, I didn't see them in there. I mean, to me, I didn't see that infested in that time. I knew most of, they was playing, I knew the ball players, and I knew the cats in the center.
Was it other gangs you saying over there, or you didn't see no gangs?
I couldn't call that. I mean, they was there, but in some, just like the West Bronx, it wasn't infatuated with gangs, but you had gangs
because it was winding down at that time, right? Like 75, you saying, maybe 76?
But I mean, even when it was at its strongest. You know what I'm saying?
You don't remember the Spades over there in Webster?
I didn't, like I said, as far as I bumped into them, I wasn't running, I was running more streetwise through Harlem and stuff like that.
How did you get cool with them though, Webster?
I mean, I got cool with a lot of people because I played ball and I fought well. Back then, it was like this, if you ran into the gangs to a degree, they used to say, if you was somebody or nobody, you had to fight the warlord. Where you had to fight one guy to prove who you are, whatever. Right. So if you beat the warlord, you was able to walk through the turf. You know, so.
But you and Herc didn't have to do that.
Nah, we didn't.
Y'all was cool with the dudes on Webster.
Yeah, and then like I said, I knew a lot of street people, and Herc knew the guys that I guess wanted to be. So our nucleus, he even knew you, I knew, to a degree. But then, like I said, everybody hold their own, and we always knew the baddest cats in your neighborhood.
But see, now Herc also did an interview saying that when he first got to the United States, he was dressing like a hick.
I didn't have the hip clothes. I had on the hick clothes. I had on the aviator hat that you pull over your ears and the flip up top. I had the wide corduroy jacket on. I looked straight like a hick.
He wasn't dressing the hip clothes. He was dressed like a hick.
Yeah, I mean, that's
so
Jamaican.
How did he go from a hick? Did you, like you said, you was wearing different flavor Pumas?
Yes.
You was a G-Money man.
I was AJ Lester.
Did you show him how to dress?
I can't say showed him, but I took him where to go.
Oh, you took him
where to go? I took him where to go, and I pointed out, look, I got this, you go get it. Or took him with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Herc stuff is in Christie's auction. I just did a show down there last week.
What, equipment or clothes?
Every bit of what he got. Yeah, go online. He's online now. This might be the last week because it was only supposed to be there 11 days.
Okay.
Every bit of what he had is in there. Every bit of what he had. Flyers, clothes, everything.
So, because now I've seen him with dashikis. He's not like hip hop style no more at all.
No.
He's not like hip hop style no more at all.
No. I mean, but he kind of stayed more as culture, Herc's Jamaican. That's why he wear that.
Okay, right.
You know, but.
Right. So he went back to his culture.
Yeah, he went back to his culture.
Right.
When he was with me, I had him dressing. He was wearing Mr. Tony's, Mr. Ori's,
Right.
AJ Lester's. I even had him, he had a Caesar one time.
Yeah, because I heard Trixie saying they was dressing like that too.
Yeah. You
So
know, they was close to it.
So y'all showed him how to dress.
That's it. Again, you had to look a certain way.
And then that's when he started meeting the gangsters around
Yeah,
town.
of course, because that's who came to see me, Coke Rock.
Right. Okay.
I knew to me, not bragging, I hate to say it. Now I see like the impact it felt, but the 70s was, you know, infatuated with drugs, and we looked up the pimps or whatever, or
Pimps, right.
mobsters, or, you know, come on.
Because you said your thing was the Mac, like the movie?
Yeah, Goldie. That's
So
the Mac.
So before you started talking on Herc's mic, was you saying pimp lines or pimp?
No,
uses?
I didn't want to be a pimp.
Right, you didn't want to be a pimp.
Right, but just talk. I really got a lot of that. Some of them sayings from the last poets.
Right, you said that.
Like
right.
I said, the rhyme with Jose when he wrote "HEVELOW, my prettiness."
Right.
That there, it was talking to me, and after that, you know. And then in school, you know, I had a friend. We write little stuff, but not going that way, because like I said, wasn't nobody talking or writing music.
And speaking on what you just said, I just saw an interview with Melly Mel. I don't know if you said, I was going to send it to you.
Right.
Melly Mel said he was the first MC and that he actually made that up.
You know what I mean? It's not only Kool Herc. You know, he had Kool Herc, which was the first guy to talk on the mic. You know, some people are naive enough to say he's the first MC. Now he never called himself MC, so he's not the first MC. I'm the first MC. I made it up. I didn't make up the word MC, but I mean, I was the first rapper to call himself an MC. Anybody?
The ceremony?
Absolutely. For the first time you would see it on the flyer, would have been the 3 MCs. That was me, Creed, and Cowboy.
I just saw an interview with Melly Mel. I don't know if you said, I was going to send it to you. Right. Melly Mel said he was the first MC and that he actually made that up. The whole, I guess, applying it to himself, he said he made that up.
I'm saying again, how can you make it up if I went to the black door where y'all first became who y'all was?
Yeah, no, he did mention that he used to study y'all.
You know, listening to Herc and them and dissecting what they was doing.
And he used to study y'all or whatever, but
again,
as far as being an MC, he said he was the first one calling himself MC.
Why was I called MC Coke Rock at the HEVELOW?
Oh, they called you MC Coke Rock here?
MC, DJ, MC. I was.
And this is what years?
This was 73. In 73 when I took on Coke Rock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's fact. That's why I said again. How can cats say once again what Herc stamped me as an MC due to the fact that this here thing, but they took away the right of me playing music. I played, I talked, and then again, like I said, I see Melly Mel. Y'all see him Sunday at Coke, thank you.
Yeah.
So then how can
Yeah, he definitely showed you respect.
Yeah, no, and I see that, but like I said, I was MC Coke.
You was MC?
Yes, I'm MC Coke on the flyer.
Okay, on the flyer.
On the flyer. Look at the PAO flyer.
Okay.
Right.
That's probably mid-70s, 75.
I'm saying again, to me it had to be 74. Because I took it on once we got in the HEVELOW. I came MC Coke Rock.
But you wasn't rhyming. Was you rhyming?
No, I mean, my little sayings. To me, it's like even with playing music. I was cutting R&B beats, breaking it into the break beats. See, people, that's why I don't go all deep with that. Same way the music I talked over, T Plays It Cool, Samantha, Bra, and Dominoes, and, you know, things like that, records that didn't have words behind it. And then again, I didn't write. I everything came out my mouth was freestyle. And then, like I said, I put it together just by who I was. You know?
Okay, so let's go to the Twilight Zone. I want you to show me the Twilight Zone.
As funny as kept, they always had a McDonald's across the street.
Yeah?
They just remodeled it and remodeled it.
But you said it was a different ethnicity thing over here.
Yeah, it was.
All right, so Cocoa Block, where we at now?
We at the Twilight Zone. This was the first club we ran to when we came from coming out of 1520, doing a couple of block parties. And this is where, like I said, coming here, people didn't really understand. I ain't even have a name then. Herc was playing, but a lot of times Herc was at the door. You know, so I did a lot of playing the music just as well, but I didn't really talk as much. Because like I said, you know, it grew to be talking. But in here too, we found out who we was. Just like Herc's father showed a movie, an 8mm movie that he took of everybody in 1520 and showed it on a sheet. So in one room, they was looking at people dancing and everything before our time, and Herc and us was playing music in another room. The only reason we lost this spot because they was serving drinks and they didn't have a license.
Wow. So, what was like the age limit? Like any children could get in here?
You had to be at least like 15 or older. You know what I'm saying? And then it was like Coney Island. You had to really be a certain height or look a certain way. You know, we wasn't letting babies in, you know.
So all of these clubs, I mean, teenagers was getting in these clubs.
It was really grown people to a degree. Most of the clubs you had to be 17 and older. Even the ones I used to go to, you had to be 22 and older. That's why I said a lot of clubs you had to have shoes on. We was the ones who really made it legal for cats to wear sneakers. People still take that away. Like I said, the story of hip hop to me, it is what it is, but every man got his own version.
What if I say, is it true? I would say that the history of hip hop needs to be rewritten correctly.
I agree. Because a lot of hip hop to me is propaganda.
Right.
Because that's why a lot of guys now I see, it ain't a hate thing. You know what it is with me? Nobody thought I would stand up. Because Herc did so much on his own.
What you mean so much on his own?
He didn't have me with him.
Okay.
So cats
parties?
No, like with this getting royalty.
Oh.
Y'all didn't see me. And this is why a lot of people feel like I was part of the Herculoid, like part of the equipment.
You saying in the millennium,
right?
When he started,
when he started getting
known and spreading himself around, right?
Y'all didn't.
He didn't bring you.
Y'all didn't see me.
Right. Right.
So this is why now, like, guys don't know how to take me because you can't get in front of me. You can't. That's like being older than your father. I could tell you stories. Here we go with this. Now, that American Gangster story with Frank Lucas and them. Nicky Barnes. Nicky Barnes' bodyguard, it was named Big Smitty, as they said in the movie.
Okay.
Big Smitty used to be in the after-hour spot we played in when I was 18. And he used to call me up there, and I was introduced to Big Smitty.
Okay.
Like I said again, cats don't understand my level of growing and living. So once again, if I was able to touch hands with Big Smitty, American Gangster, how you cats get in front of me? I'm 67. I'm 67, man. Come on. Y'all can't be older than me.
Right.
So how can you have parties? If our party was 50 cents, then your party must have been a quarter.
Okay.
But then why y'all ain't get recognized? I'm not hating on nothing, but like you said, you have to rewrite this true story. But since guys got paid to tell lies, like I said, those are the lying kings. But if you're getting money, and again, it's no jealousy, no hate. Y'all wasn't here in the 70s. You wasn't.
Okay.
To me, you wasn't. And then why y'all ain't in front of her then?
Okay.
If everybody did it before him, why nobody was recognized and the title? Why did they stand 1520? Why did they stand
Okay, you said why nobody stamped?
Yeah, like why ain't nobody be like with everybody else that's supposed to have did all this before Herc did it?
King Charles.
Grandmaster Flowers, New Sounds.
Pete DJ Jones, DJ Hollywood, Grandmaster Flowers,
Johnny Gasmaster. Disco Twins.
New Sounds.
DJ Lance, known as Master D.
With everybody else that's supposed to have did all this before Herc did it.
Okay.
Why they didn't stamp the title, the fall?
Okay.
Why? I want to know that part.
Okay.
If everybody played the music he played, everybody party was the same as his, how did he take the title?
Okay, well I say like this, right? Herc is the father of what? Break beats, right?
I'll give that.
Okay, but see, I don't know who you got in mind. I'm saying from Michael Wayne TV point of view.
Okay.
We're coming from the point of view that hip hop didn't start with break beats.
Hip hop is a culture, a way of life, a way of thinking.
Hip hop started before the music.
Hip hop is a way to be, and from that way to be, we get rap, DJ, graffiti writing, breaking, beatboxing, etc.
Herc and hip hop would not be possible without the culture that existed in gang culture, specifically the black space.
Right.
So they laid that groundwork, that energy. You know what I mean? That energy.
I'm saying from Michael Wayne TV point of view.
Okay.
We're coming from the point of view that hip hop didn't start with break beats.
Right, I agree.
You agree?
No, I agree.
Right. We're saying that it was an energy
I agree.
and culture before the break beats.
I agree.
I like what you said before. You said y'all molded hip hop.
You understand? We molded hip hop.
Y'all molded hip hop.
I feel that we was, to me, I say we was the patent and everybody turned into the product.
Okay.
And the product got better each time. But look at the people that, like I said again, like Mario himself.
Right.
It seemed like they tried to erase him like they tried to erase me. They don't even give him his credit. Come on.
Well, I see that changing now. He's getting more recognition. But so you do recognize that there was an energy before the breakbeats?
Yes, it was
hip-hop
party.
energy.
To me, it was disco. It was disco. It wasn't energy. It was disco.
I think it's time that I first introduce you to Cameron Flowers, who is one of the founders of disco music. You know,
the music's nice when Flowers is playing here, And, you know, it's a well put together club, it's a well thought out club. And, you know, the young ladies that come here, you know, are attractive and they mature. It's an older crowd, type of crowd I like.
Higher section, that's a bone bus, right on fire. You jam it back with the sounds of new sounds, hit a foot, walk right in your stride, one dip in your hip, make your knees freeze, deliver quiver, crack on your back, and if you can't dig that mess, you got to be at the wrong address, because while everybody's laughing and joking, new sounds will be right here.
It wasn't energy, it was disco.
Disco. Okay, but little teenage gangsters was doing it. They was, you know, like Mario and the Spades, they was teenage gangsters.
No, we needed soul power. We got to hand it soul power.
Instead of saying soul power, we say spade power.
Hey, if you have a rumor, you come and see yourself.
I mean, I don't know if it's an issue now, but before we even start all this, people would hear the name Disco King Mario and say he was a disco DJ. And he didn't have anything to do with hip hop, he was a disco DJ.
Let me say this to you right now. How many disco DJs was running a gang?
Right.
That was just a name.
Hey, if you have a rumor, you come and see yourself. No, we needed soul power. We got to hand it soul power. No, we wanted soul power. Got to hand it soul power. Give it to me, soul power. We needed soul
They was, you know, like Mario and the Spades, they was teenage gangsters. Okay. So it can't be necessarily disco, even though they was playing disco breaks or disco music or whatever. Okay. They was playing James Brown.
Right.
That was the Black Spades theme music. James Brown Soul Power.
Right.
So you saying that was like y'all theme music? That was y'all thing, Spade Power.
Spade power, man. Spade power.
Wow.
All Spade some guy.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like y'all was all teenagers, basically catering, throwing parties for teenagers.
Right.
The culture, the lifestyle, playing in the project.
Yeah.
bringing music out, loud music out in the projects. Y'all started that.
Oh yeah, we started that.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, we started
the culture,
that.
the lifestyle.
Okay, you
spray painting a spade on the projects.
All these walls, spades. My name was on all
right.
the walls.
Herc and hip-hop would not be possible without the culture that existed in gang culture, specifically the black space.
Right.
So they laid that groundwork, that energy.
Right.
So that's
right.
what we're saying in Microwave TV, that there was an energy before the breakbeats.
Yes,
Herc
I
took
agree.
it to another.
I agree. I agree with that because I'm Bronx born.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Right.
I just didn't know the people to a degree, like who played the music and the puzzle. Most guys wasn't on stage; they was in a room. You never seen it in most of the clubs. You didn't see the guys playing because they danced over the talking. We put it out front because we was on stage and we never got in the booth.
Stage,
We never got in the booth.
That was mostly in the nightclubs, mostly, right?
There you go. Same way you had a lot of ballrooms in here. You had the Burnside Manor, you had the Savoy Manor, you had fucking the Parkside Plaza. The Bronx was full of fucking spots that held events. That's why you got a lot of bands. You had groups.
Right.
You didn't have DJs really taking over. You know, you had the DJ Jones and them for older people.
Right.
The young guys wasn't running like they became like when Herc turned it into the true production. You know, but like I said again, everybody played a role, but like I said, we can juggle that up and down.
I give Herc you and Herc that thing, that whole talking on the mic with the break beats for the B.Boys.
Yeah.
As far as breakdancing, I think y'all kind of ushered in.
Yeah.
Because Herc was the Mecca.
He was the Mecca
of the breakdance. Herc was the Mecca.
He was
the Mecca of the breakdance.
You know, that's your thing. You know what I'm saying? The breakdance,
It went with the show.
Yeah, so that, to me, I don't try to get in the way with that, even though my brother DJ FaZe has a different view, but I don't try to get in the way with that, of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I give y'all that. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the history being rewritten correctly, for y'all half, it would have to say, y'all part of hip hop didn't come out of poverty. Right? It didn't come out of gangs. Right. It didn't come out of poverty. It didn't come out of burnt down buildings.
Not at all. That's what I said was the difference. This is why, like I said, the West Bronx wasn't infatuated with gangs. You know what I'm saying? It really wasn't, because you had, not to say a difference, because we all look like, well, that's the poor part and this is that. Like you said, the abandoned buildings. You mostly had working class people.
Right.
You know, so you didn't need to.
And you know what's interesting? I'm trying to study the Soundview area.
South Bronx, the South Bronx, South Bronx, the South Bronx, South Bronx, the South Bronx, South Bronx, the South Bronx. Many people tell me this style is terrific.
As far as the beginning of hip hop, there's always a thing about the South Bronx and burnt down buildings. Now let me ask you, this is the Soundview area. So say maybe from Whitlock to White Plains Road. When you was a teenager back in 73, 72, 71, and you first moved over here, do you remember any burnt down buildings at all?
I don't remember any burnt down buildings. You know, it wasn't like the South Bronx over there, you know, where there was a whole lot of burnt out buildings, but no. Not in that area.
Not in this area.
Right.
I don't even remember the years of the arson. I think it was maybe the mid 70s, late 70s, 77, 78. You still don't remember any burnt down buildings like Watson, all those buildings with the fire escapes? Watson, Elder, do you remember any burnt down buildings?
There may have been some burnt out buildings on Boynton Avenue around there, but I really didn't pay attention to that. I don't know if it was any, I don't remember any major fire thing where I would be out there standing or the fire truck came. No, I don't remember any of that.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Right, so that was more like in the South Bronx, like Beck Avenue, I guess, or...
Yeah, Interville, all that stuff, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Over there, where was the Savage Skulls area and or Savage No Man's area, 163rd, over there, that area and shit.
I'm studying the Soundview area. I don't think that we had too many burnt down buildings.
That was the South Bronx.
That was the South Bronx.
Right, I agree. That wasn't the whole Bronx.
But we didn't have the burnt down buildings.
We didn't have the burnt down buildings.
Right. So hip hop history has to be rewritten correctly.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So
I agree with that.
But see, the thing is, There it is, then. I mean, there it is.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
we come to agreement. Because we see it. It has to, man.
Right. Come to agreement.
It has to.
Come to agreement.
With all of us. That's the problem now, man. Everybody want that glory on, telling the non-truth.
Right.
Or they want to be in there when they wasn't there.
Right.
Or not accepting the next man's sight of what he's seen.
So I'm glad and I salute you because you said you agree that there was a hip hop energy before the breakbeats. Yes. Can you expand a little more on that?
I mean, I dance. I used to go to parties. Same way with school parties. Like I went to Alfred E. Smith, so our school that would always be there is Walton, all girls school, James Monroe.
Okay.
So even with dancing, I learned how to dance good, and in my neighborhood they beat you up for copying moves, like you said, people steal, people move.
Okay.
But I was able to dance with the ladies, so I was never scared to dance, and go places. So then when I did meet Herc seen me win a dance contest. And after that he was like, wow. So when we be at a party and girls be like out dancing everybody, Herc would come get me. Cool, come on man, I want you to dance with her. Because they couldn't out dance.
I look straight like a hick. And then I love cowboy boots from back in Jamaica and watching cowboy pictures. So I thought that, cowboy boots was the bomb. When I got in and got a pair of cowboy winter boots, this girl in junior high school, teased me to death. You look at him, he got on Roach Killers. She had the whole hallway just tearing me up. Roach Killers, and all that.
When you first met Herc, you said, he was riding a bike.
Yeah.
Was he dressed like a hick then?
He was dressed, it was summertime. Herc wasn't scared to wear shorts and a shirt because he was muscle. Herc was all muscle. Like
because he said he was dressing like a hick.
Yeah, but that was him, I guess. That was him.
So when you first met him, that's how he was dressing like.
Yeah, but again, as me being me who I am, I didn't care what you had on.
Right.
All I worried about what I had on. Okay. Because a lot of country guys came from the country.
Okay, right.
So they'll put on some colors that my man used to wear plaid pants with a polka dot shirt. Purple and red and white. Jesus Christ, come on, man. You match the colors a little better. But you dress how you dress, right?
All right, so look. So as far as the energy of hip-hop before the breakbeats, the only thing we're saying it came from the Spades.
Okay.
It came from Bronxville to Spades. That's what we're saying.
Yeah. Well, like I said, every side of town had their own. Like I got all of my vibes from the church parties.
Okay.
You had 3 churches where I was at. They'd give a talent show, then after that, it's like for the kids and stuff. So I always stayed at a party and everybody always had that same energy, man. Like you said, with the Spades, with certain people. The same way they had clubs, that guys couldn't go to, but they wasn't old enough.
Right.
And the energy was energy. You could get the same energy in a house party. Like guys ran the house party.
Okay. Coming to my last questions. Herc said that he was DJing at first, and then one night he decided to do the merry-go-round. How long was that time period?
I couldn't call how he said, like I said, his calling of it. Because of the fact, like, I didn't focus on it because, like I said, I wasn't chasing that playing music. But when his style of what was happening, like he used to be, like he taught me how to really pick the record up, put it down without, putting marks on it. Herc used to cover his records black, and we didn't have a cue in. So we had to look, or you could hear it. Right. That's why my ears, I can hear the cut coming in as soon as you put that needle on it. And that's a talent. Then when we did get a mixer, because one night our system blew out because it was too hot. See, people don't tell this story. That's how I know people wasn't there. We was in the executive Playhouse. It was so packed that it was so hot that the speakers the amps couldn't hold it.
Wow.
And our shit shut off. We didn't know what the fuck to do. Excuse me. So he called DJ Barron that was with Breakout. Barron at that time had built his system just as well. So it needed Baron to come with his amps and his equipment. And Baron came with the mixer. And when we had, to me, when I had the mix on, it got like simple, because now I could hear it on the cut-in, and we had techniques where you could turn it back. So then the music became no missing nothing, instead of just eye judgment, you know? So again, the style, to me, we was trained under Herc a different way, but like I didn't play what Herc played, you know what I'm saying? The music he played, I played something different, because as an individual, I was taught to be a leader in my own self. I don't care who I'm with. Right. I'm not a follower. Okay. But follow somebody, or y'all do what you do.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. Let me get this straight. Y'all started off 1520 Cedric Rec Room.
Yeah.
Was you there that very first time?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you started off there, then you went outside in that little park outside the building. Then you went to Cedar Park only a couple of times.
Right.
And then y'all came here, Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
And then you went Executive Playhouse.
Right. And then in between that, we went to Taft High School.
Taft High School.
Yeah, just as well.
And then what, y'all ended up at the HEVELOW? Was that the last spot?
No, what happened was too, at the Executive Playhouse, to me, like, we was there a good while, and there was 7 execs supposed to be, you know, they was black guys feeling they owned the place, but that was the front. Jews owned all these spots. Every spot you see, the Jewish people owned it. They put a black in front, or whatever nationality they need to get you in there. But at the end of the night, that Jewish man come collect that money.
And this is mostly young adults coming to the party? Teenagers?
Yeah,
or young
teenagers.
adults?
See,
Teenagers.
One thing too, this was what people don't fail to realize. This is how we kept it strong. We never let the high school go. Because like going to high school, like I said to her, it's like industry. Every 9th grader want to know where to hang out at. Like you want to know where the older guys are going in your school. Niggas, like they be like, yo, I just was at the club last week. You be like, yo, I want to go. So we kept the high school crowd. This is why 371 and other guys that took over and act like they created this and that. We just chose not to keep going. We stayed with the high school. We stayed with them because you'll never burn out of high school, because high school is high school.
Hip-hop was set out in the dark.
One other thing about, like, as far as hip-hop history being rewritten correctly.
They used to do it out in the park.
The park jams, that became synonymous with hip-hop beginnings. Yeah. Like Shan had that famous line.
Hip-hop was set out in the dark. They used to do it out in the park.
It became synonymous with early hip-hop. Y'all somehow get the credit for that, but y'all really wasn't in the parks that much. It was Mario and them was in the parks.
Yeah, they stayed in the park. I
parks
agree.
Heavy, right.
Okay, no.
So shouldn't they get that credit as far as the early hip-hop park jams?
I agree. Like I said again, I don't take the credit to feel like Herc did everything where guys ain't know. You know what I'm saying? We all really played a role. But to classify that first, what made it is that beat, man, together with a mic. You said yourself.
What did I say?
You said you and him was the first one talking and playing together, right? Who was talking back then for them guys?
I give y'all that for as far as like.
Right.
I give y'all as far as like what you said. Y'all molded hip hop. Like y'all became the champions of that. Y'all had the breakdance, contests and all that.
Everything.
But you know, and it's also interesting that I'm learning, because I was talking to Trixie, and it wasn't no B-Boy crews back then. The time, like around the time you battled Southside, was y'all in crews?
No.
Y'all wasn't in no dance B-Boy crews.
Everybody was single person.
Single person. It wasn't no B-Boy crews back then.
No. I mean,
it wasn't no crew.
Well, look at the older guys that dance. El Dorado, Mike, Chip. You know, they wasn't B-Boy. They wasn't B-boying. You had some guys that danced that wasn't B-boying. El Dorado Mike was a hustler. He could hustle and he do other dances. My man T-Ty and Rory, you know, they was dancers as myself. I was a dancer. I didn't consider myself no B-boy. Right. I didn't even dance with men. Not that the B-boys was dancing with men. I didn't dance with guys.
So the Herculoid crew, that came later on? Where did
that
that
came
come
more.
into?
That came more to me through Clark Kent.
But where was y'all at when that came in?
I mean, to me, it was always there. It came out the recreation room. Trixie came out the recreation room.
Right.
Dancing Doug came out the recreation room. Sasa came out the recreation room.
But I'm saying as far as the Herculoid crew, was it a crew?
They
'Cause you
came
said it
wherever
was a
we
system.
went. Yeah, it was the system. That was the Herculoid. To me, right after the Imperial JC that passed away, after JC, everybody else became Herculoid. Pebbly Pool and all them or whoever.
What years is that?
It had to be after 78, 70 something, because I stopped when the Imperial JC got on, and this is when scratching started.
Right, okay.
Because I don't mean nothing against scratching. I couldn't take scratching at the beginning.
okay.
I didn't understand it.
Right.
Like, I guess even with me talking, and they say, well, he didn't write no records, he didn't do this, but the lines I said just came out of me. So it wasn't really written where I was chasing that.
Yeah.
You know?
So the Herculoid crew came later.
Right.
It wasn't at the beginning.
No, it wasn't at the beginning, because it was just me and her. Guys don't realize we played at Hunter College. We was mobile. We was mobile DJs. We played for some cats called Riff and Cliff. These was some guys that owned record shops, rode Mercedes-Benz, and we played for them.
And see, this is an interesting part of hip hop history, because see, when the gangs kind of broke up, they turned it to crews.
And see, this was the thing that was good about it. This was when the transition was coming in.
Okay.
We was transitioning from Baby Spades to crews.
Crews,
right? Yeah, we went from Baby Spades, Mario went to Chuck Chuck City, Bambaataa went to Zulu Nation.
All the original groups or crews, they later became Casanovas and 17th Division Black Spades. Zulu Nation, organization, 10th Division Black Spades. Chuck City crew, 1st Division Black Spades.
So that's just the interesting difference between West Side, East Side.
Yes,
I don't really like saying West Side, East Side, because it divides us.
Right. Yeah,
it further divides us. But West Side, East Side, the East Side was gangs that turned into crews.
Right.
Y'all was rocking more like singular breakdancers.
Yeah. That's who ran with that.
Yeah.
And then Herc took a liking to them.
Okay.
You know, so as we went, they went.
Right.
And that's like, even like I said, as myself, I didn't write rhymes. I didn't do all that, man.
Right.
Whatever came out of me, that's just what type of head I had that night. But then after guys was like, yo, Coop, you killed them yesterday. You rocked them. Because I used to say, you rock and you don't stop, because I seen the crowd.
Yeah.
And I was like, you rock and you don't stop. Now you're listening to the sounds of Coop, Lil Rock. You know, so it just came about. You know?
Yeah.
And a man that can't be thrown a horse that can't be rode, a bull that can't be stopped, there's not a disco that I can't rock. You see, it just went with how it went.
Okay, but one thing is for sure, you saying them rhymes, getting on the mic, you didn't get that from Jamaican.
No, not at all.
MCs.
Okay, I'm gonna tell a secret. I didn't know Herc was Jamaican until about 2 years.
2 years in?
Yeah. I didn't know he was Jamaican.
Wow.
Till I went to his house.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because that's the narrative that he brought Jamaican culture here, you on the mic, because the Jamaicans
No.
Right.
This is why I was I guess a bad boy. You know?
Okay. All right, I think that's it, brother.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to say?
I love you, man.
I love you too.
And respect. This is why anytime you need me, bro.
Okay.
I'm here. This is all truth. This ain't nothing. I still work a 9. You know, they tell me stop saying I work a 9 to 5, man. I'm getting ready to retire this year and sit back. But now I like to say one thing. I patent live at La Rocks. That's my patent. That's my club. That's my thing. Okay. When you want Coke La Rock, it's live at La Rocks. I'll be giving parties every 2 months where the new meet the old, and that's what we're doing. Okay. I got my people, Jack Punkin Man, Desiree, and my partner Lucky Blank.
Okay, where is that at?
I give it in various places, but the Live at La Rocks, go on Instagram, Coke La Rock Bookings, and check me out. They're giving me an award Sunday down in Harlem. Geechee Dan and them, the Hip Hop Museum from Washington. You know, they're giving a couple of people, you know. Come
happy
on down.
anniversary from 73,
Yes, thank you.
49
That's what
years.
I'm saying again.
Happy anniversary.
Cats told me happy anniversary, but they didn't invite me to 1520 when they had the mayor there and Curtis Blow and Grandmaster Kaz.
That's a
and
shame.
you know, once again, you know, like I said.
You talking about this year?
Last week.
Last week.
Last week. KRS-One.
And they didn't invite Coke Rock.
They don't invite Coke Rock. I mean, they know Herc ain't coming because Herc ain't dealing with people taking over the recreation room.
Oh, okay.
But they ain't invite Coke Rock. Wow. I'm a man of my own. Don't judge me for Herc.
Anything else?
That's it, my brother. Thank you. I love y'all, man. The BX.